and I'm sure a few days ago, most of us saw Marco Crane Kumante talking about the fact that when Kwabena Kwabena endorsed the NPP, that's when he became bigger. Do you remember?
Yes, I saw that video.
Well, Kwabena Kwabena's manager, that's Anapoku Ashes, has spoken. And then he is saying, Nyanukre.
Nyanukre. Oh,
and Nyanukre Bakusi.
Yeah.
And Nyanukre Bakusi.
He feels it's not true.
It's not true. Kwabena Kwabena didn't become bigger. I mean, he was doing well. I mean, we all know Kwabena Kwabena. He was doing well even before he endorsed the NPP. And then he actually had negative effects of endorsing the NPP.
Oh, so he actually affected his career?
Yeah, it affected his career because it got to a point, you know, your fans, it gets to a point where they're like, oh, I'm angry with you because you endorsed a particular political party, so I don't really want to have anything to do with you. So that was the effect of what was happening, but he worked hard, made sure that he's doing his thing himself. And then this is where it brings up the conversation about if artists endorse certain political parties for their own benefits, because he mentioned that it got to a point where he would place a few phone calls and then maybe a mobile Boakakra or something, then no one was minding him.
Who were the no ones minding him, like the NPP people?
Yeah, he said, so let me quote from him. He said he thought that his beloved party had come to pass, so he could make a few phone calls and then see how he could get help, which also fell on deaf ears. He didn't get any help from them. Wow. And apart from that, they even pay him. I mean, he did it out of the goodness of his heart for the love of the party to endorse them. It's not as if he was a paid thing. I mean,
well, so at the end of the day, his concern is that it wasn't true that he became bigger.
It wasn't true,
but is he sure that they didn't also get some gigs because of some recommendation by some people elsewhere in the top and all that? It could have happened.
But if you get recommendations, I'm sure definitely you would know, yeah?
Ashes has not been the manager for Kwabena Kwabena all throughout. But then obviously, maybe there could have been some gigs that Kwabena performed at some point in time.
But he would know, right?
Not all of them. Kwabena at some point he was stubborn. I remember when, at some point I almost became PR for Kwabena Kwabena. Yeah, but when Logi actually signed him, and we had to do the unveiling at what's the name of the hotel? One of the hotels in Accra. And then, we released the song, did everything. And while it was Kwabena that management crane.
Yeah, but then right now he's not into politics again. He's not into active. Maybe definitely.
No, he's basically not endorsing publicly speaking to that.
So say the na because money na.
On to the next one.
And then moving on to our next entertainment story. I'm sure that when this story that we talked about the last time, that a whole lot of issues came up.
Which one was that?
You remember the podcast that Fialdo was on?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about Fialdo. There was another lady on there, is it Gisela, talking about how she thinks her father is a demon, and how the father didn't treat her right and a whole lot of things. Well, Counsellor Lutterodt is saying something. He says that the girl is mentally sick because she called the father a demon. And then I was listening to the whole interview. I was like, really?
Why?
Fine, I get it that maybe you don't want her to sit I get it. But to say that, the father had good reasons for probably doing what the lady said she did. Said she could come to the school and then pick up her other kids with another woman and then leave her and the brother there. A friend was me, don't call me. She got admission to leg, and then he was like, why are you telling me? You know those things.
See, I've seen.
I was like, what did you do for your father to do that? At a young age, what could you possibly do?
Well, the point is, I've seen the video. I've seen people share various opinions on that and all that. The girl needs some closure, and that closure would obviously have to come from the man.
Yeah.
The woman who happened to be a wife. There is something that somebody's perhaps not telling the girl.
Yeah.
You see, most of the time we end up criticizing certain dads or calling dads names because of our mothers. And I won't lie, there are so many people who've been blackballed, who've been made to think that their dads were the evil ones. Simply because a certain woman felt, I want to push a narrative and feel like, yes, I can do it myself. Yes, there are women who are punishing their children because they felt they pushed their men out, and so they feel they can do it themselves. So they push it to a narrative to the extent that now the guys, the parents or the men, actually become the evil ones. And you see, men hardly speak about some of these things. So society will end up playing everything back on them. A lot of men are not in their kids' lives, not because they don't want to, but because certain women want to act like we are tough. Yes, we can do it ourselves. So they push so much narratives in the minds of their kids. They grow up and they don't even want to see their dads. Not because their dads didn't want to be there. Now, with this girl's situation, for instance, the girl also went ahead to say that the dad is taking care of the brothers. The brother. Right? So how come she...
No, she said it was even a recent thing.
She said she's the first one.
She said it was even a recent thing.
Not even with a recent one. He says the man was living outside. Anytime the man comes in with the other brothers and all that, cares about them, but doesn't care about her. Have you asked the woman why? Maybe Enyane Bampo, you don't know. Yes, it could be.
Anyway, CM, I feel yes, the girl could have spoken to the mom, you know, growing up and realizing the girl should have spoken to the mom. Yeah, that one is there. But then the conversation is should she have gone to the extent of saying all those things about her father on a podcast?
Listen, Obiani, they were expressing it. And there are moments we've said that, listen, yes, some of these expressions, you don't need to go out there and say it, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't do that. But maybe she finds it, she feels that's the best way for her to actually open up and heal.
I mean, she mentioned she has never even spoken about it on her podcast before, even on her page.
Exactly.
She has never mentioned it.
She feels that's the way to get healed.
But how is that going to heal? At the end of the day, pain is still there. You've still not gotten closure. Maybe your dad didn't even reach out to you to explain what happened. Your mom probably won't reach out to you to explain what happened.
If I'm the dad, I won't reach out. You've called me a demon.
You should. I mean,
to the whole world.
And why? But you're a parent.
What would I do now?
But you're a parent. Okay. So despite everything, you should want to bring the child close and explain to the child that this and that what happened. That would be better. That would be better. But we've had stepdads that are good to their children.
Yes.
So don't ignore them. Probably.
You see, that's where the challenge is. Most of the time, is the conflict of the parents. The two, the man and the woman. Their challenges. Then they inflict those pains on their children. So the children get to bear those pains that two adults refuse to solve. Do you get it?
Yeah.
The problem is that two adults who have known themselves, had sex, gave birth, refuse to solve their challenges, and so the kids are the ones who begin to suffer. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wish her well. I wish her closure. I wish she's able to actually get the closure.
She mentioned how it affected her trust issues, a whole lot of things. So
I just wish she's able to. Riley, who says good morning, NY, please tell Blessing that I love her. It's her birthday. Send her money. Osama McLean says, watching live from Kumasi Technical University. 4K says, true, men don't share their part of the story, and women pollute their men. Their children.
All women. I think we should stop, generalizing these things.
No,
it's not women. Some women.
Of course.
Why does it always have to be the woman? I mean, we've had dads.
Women.
We have dads that would also do the same thing. Pit their children against their mothers. Like,
men.
You
see, hardly do men pitch.
But they do.
Yeah, hardly. What I'm saying is that hardly, because especially when you find yourself in the Akan community where I've said it. Remember, they said we come to this world, hustle, take care of whatever, and die. Foolish life. You be brand near Japadi and Bema Japadi a Congo. Nema, a man
it goes, I don't know, depends on, where you're from.
That's what I'm saying.
Because my side.
The side is going to Abano and in the bush you are falling.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Okay.
So it's basically how will a man want Bema Opechi Oma against Umami? Oh, yeah, they are back on the bush. Into who are a stranger?
Well,
you're worried. Don't worry.
Well.
Sweetie Uncle says, anyway, this out of wedlock kids home, we tend to suffer for the crime we don't even know. Yeah, some more. I know there's a lot of issues with this. I wish we could tackle all that, but don't worry. Bob Kwabena Jamaica says happy birthday to Blessing.
Thank you.
Pacho Momo number na Yaro de Beba studio. Yaro de Beba. So that you guys actually, you know, you get to.
Anyway, our time is up, but let me just do this for a minute. This is on X, and then the Rwandan Governance Board. They have shut down over 8,000 churches.
Because and of the why?
Yes, because they passed a bill in 2018 that the churches are supposed to follow a particular way of building the church. If you are a pastor, you need to be able to you need to have a degree in theology and all of those things. So most of them, they are requirements, but most of them haven't been able to meet them. So they shut down over 8,000 churches and mosques in Rwanda.
Shut down
and then people are asking, can we do that in Ghana?
No, you can't.
Is it even possible?
No, you can't.
I don't think. I don't think. But we don't have requirements. Do we have such requirements and laws?
There are no requirements.
Yeah. This was way back 2018. So if Wasonya Deni Abetu, why you complain? I heard some of the pastors weren't happy. But why you complain since 2018?
I saw them crying. I saw ding. Anyway, thank you very much, Miss Blessed.
You're welcome.
And so you still didn't tell me. Okay,
I didn't tell you what.
I asked you yesterday.
Oh, I'll tell you later.
Oh, you said the same thing yesterday.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
You said the same thing yesterday.
Oh no, after the show, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Okay, the cameras are off, the mics are off. You gotta tell me now. Say it now or never.
It's still on. I can clearly see that thing is on.
Say it now or ever. And you say it now or you forever.
Thank you to Kejumafo. He says that he's bringing me lunch today. So thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank you.
What are you talking
about?
Official.
What are you talking about?
Rambo style. I'll invade his studios. Rambo style. Yeah, coach, the conversation there. Maybe one of these days we need to really talk about it. Men. Yeah, cowbell coffee.